This video is brought to you by Raindrop Gutter Guard. This week on the roofing news, what counts as a free speech and what is unlicensed adjusting? A roofer has been fighting the state for a year, but it could be over soon. Iowa has been in the middle of a battle over free speech and public adjusting since 2024. It started with a crackdown on contractors. The state sent out 70 warning letters and 8 cease and desist orders. In at least one case, a roofer was exposed after an undercover sting operation. Most of those cases have ended with the contractor signing a consent order or agreeing to the cease and desist by default. But there's one guy who stood up. Shamrock Roofing decided to fight. Here's the backstory. In 2024, Shamrock got a warning letter. Investigators said a lot of their marketing crossed the line. For example, the website says things like, "We are insurance claim experts. We'll assist you with the claims process to ensure you get your full payment." There were also customers' reviews saying, "They helped me fight the insurance company. Shamrock walked me through everything with insurance reimbursement." The state says these were UPPA violations. Shamrock said it was a free speech. My team talked to the owner, Garen, to get his side of the story.
One, we feel that this is an example of big government impeding on homeowners, on people, so that they can't be, they can't communicate, they can't be educated, they can't know what's going on with their insurance process. One of those items was somebody gave me a 5-star Google review, and it said, "I want to thank Josh for helping me through the process." It didn't say insurance process, just said process. So that not only is it controlling speech, it's controlling third-party speech on a public platform.
Shamrock argued that advertising isn't the same thing as unlicensed adjusting, and they said the Iowa laws were too vague. But a few weeks ago, a judge ruled against them. I wanted to hear from someone on the other side of this debate, so we called Steve Badger.
The decision is not a surprise at all. It's exactly the same outcome that occurred when a contractor tried to do the same thing in Texas. So this is exactly the right result, and it's not a surprising result. The entire premise that there's any constitutional argument in respect to public adjusting as professional speech is silly. This is a complete waste of time and energy by these contractors to go down this road. They'd be better served spending their money instead of hiring lawyers to go out and retrain their people on how to sell roofing jobs without having to pretend that they're public adjusters.
You have the carriers and regulators on one side, the contractors like Garen on other. Homeowners are caught in the middle. Both Steve and Garen agree there should be a middle ground.
Contractors can absolutely have a role in the claim process. Their role is to, one, explain their scope of damage findings to the adjuster, and two, explain their cost to repair measure to the adjuster. They can provide a resource for that information. But that's it. They cannot then start threatening bad faith and talking about code provisions and policy provisions. That is the practice of public adjusting. So is the law 100% clear? No, the law almost never is. Is there a gray area where we can all go along and get along and work to resolve claims for the benefit of the homeowner? Of course there is. But the only contractors getting in trouble for UPA are the ones who are way crossing the line.
I understand their stance and I understand the end objective, right? But it's like, I want to help them. Like, let's come up with a plan that's beneficial for everybody. I'd like to see it all thrown out to where the contractor can talk to a homeowner about the process. I'm not saying act as an adjuster. I'm not saying that at all. We're roofers. We don't want that extra headache. If there's something that can be changed, okay, we're only going to recognize and start enforcing this at $50,000 and above, right? That's where you get PAs that are available and take jobs. That would make sense. But for your average ticket, $17,000, that's your regular homeowner who's not trying to get engaged with the PA.
Garen said he's going to appeal the case. He's hopeful they still have a chance to win. I love Garen. I love Shamrock Roofing. I think they're one of the better guys. So I'll let you decide for yourself who is the right, who is the wrong here. Comment below. Let's vote in comments. Are you on insurance side or on a contractor side? Can contractors say things like where it will help you with insurance claim, or it's violation of law or free speech? Also, I'm gonna finish with this clip I saw on Instagram from Shamrock Roofing, just to show you what kind of contractor Shamrock is. Enjoy the clip. I think it's one of the best content out there the contractors can put out in case of emergency after the hurricane. They have a lot of inventory on hand, and it helps them to be one of the best contractors in the area.
Promoters in Wichita and the surrounding areas, McPherson, you've been hit with 3-inch hail, 250 homes damaged. We have material on hand, on staff, Certainty, IKO, TAMCO. We have it all. We have 20 semis on the way. We have our own conveyors, so we can roof load your roof for you, so that we can have our installers the next day installing the new shingles after the old ones are torn off, so that we can speed up the process. Other roofing companies that don't have their material on hand, they're going to have to go through a third party. The third parties are so backed up right now to get their materials out to you. They're not going to be able to get out to you until much later. We can get you out there and taken care of as soon as you call. Within a week, we can get you roofed. So call Shamrock Roofing or visit the website at shamrockroofer.com or click the link below. For Shamrock Roofer, one call does it all.
Shamrock, thank you for being good guys in the industry, and I'll see you guys in the next video.